The downfall of a major public figure like Ellen DeGeneres is a complex topic that involves a massive shift in audience trust and public perception. It is understandable why many people look for deeper, hidden explanations when a long-standing Queen of Kindness brand collapses so quickly. While there's a lot of discussion online regarding the reasons behind such a downfall, reports concerning workplace toxic culture and the more extreme theories are circulating on the internet. Claims involving the Epstein files or rituals and health issues of that nature alleges that Ellen DeGeneres was named in the Epstein files and that she got infected by eating infants' flesh.
You know they eat babies. That is not bullshit. It's true.
She believed consumption was transformation, that youth could be taken in, that vitality could be absorbed. She talked about ancient rites, about elites throughout history who understood what the masses didn't. There was a separate kitchen on her property, stainless steel, private entrance, no security cameras inside.
One of the most chilling theories to emerge in recent years involves the very stage where Ellen sat every day. To the average viewer, it was just a modern, breezy set with palm trees and soft lighting. However, when side-by-side comparisons began to circulate online, people noticed something that was impossible to ignore. The architectural layout, the specific color palette of the couches, and even the placement of the windows on the Ellen DeGeneres show set bore a striking resemblance to the structures found on Little St. James, the infamous private island owned by Jeffrey Epstein. Speculation went wild that the set wasn't just a design choice, but a subtle tribute to the place where Hollywood's elite allegedly engaged in their darkest activities.
No.
I know Jamie does.
What is it?
It's on the set of a famous talk show that's now not on anymore.
Oh, Ellen? Was that Ellen?
Yeah.
Really?
But just look at the temple and then look at the...
Let me see Ellen's background. What? Oh, similar. That looks like a building, though. Like
yeah, sure.
Yeah. Is that a building in LA? That might be a building in LA. Right, but I mean, it's supposed to be a background of... Yeah.
It's strange to use the same.
It is, but it's, I mean, it's whatever. I'm not that impressed with that. That could just be coincidental. There's a lot of people...
Ask Alex about that.
Yeah. Well, he'll get... Well...
They don't want you to remember what Sandra Bullock actually said on Ellen's couch. They don't want you to look into the facial. The adrenochrome theory suggests that the global elite don't just stop at skin creams. It alleges they harvest a specific chemical compound from the blood of the young to achieve a state of permanent vitality and high that no other drug can provide. While the mainstream media calls this a basement-dwelling fantasy, the Sandra Bullock interview provided a rare televised moment of vampiric transparency. If the elite are openly admitting to using the cells of infants to keep their faces from wrinkling on a daytime talk show, it's not a huge leap to wonder what's happening behind the closed doors of private clinics and underground labs.
Okay, let's talk about this facial that you're obsessed with. How many, did you get the whole cast of Ocean's 8 to do this?
Not everybody.
Okay, good, smart ones.
Just those that I thought would appreciate it.
Okay, explain what it is.
Well, it's this way in which one forces through microneedling. It's like a little roller with these, some of you, I think many of you know it, and it pushes through the skin and ruptures the collagen and then boosts it. You look like a burn victim for a day, but then it pushes the serum.
What are you pushing into the skin, Sandra?
Sarah?
Carrie? What are you pushing into the skin?
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person far, far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract.
It's foreskin from a Korean baby.
A disturbing clip began circulating across social media, featuring audio that theorists claim is a window into the most horrific secrets of the elite. In the recording, voices are heard discussing forbidden proteins, with one individual saying, "This is a human, so yes, please enjoy," and noting how it was easier to eat than a horse. This footage became the centerpiece of a firestorm of speculation, with many connecting these alleged ritualistic practices to the guest lists of the most infamous island in the world. The theory suggests that the overlap between daytime TV's most powerful figures and the Epstein orbit wasn't just about business, it was about a shared participation in a world of darkness that the public was never meant to see.
This is a human, so yes, please enjoy.
It's actually much easier to eat than a horse.
I agree with you. You know, it's much more tender. I think it was the 12 days on the brine.
I think for me it's a reminder that we are meant to eat long pig.
Tender. So he's probably pretty old. Could have been a heart attack.
A car wreck. I mean, maybe Russell was a terrible driver.
Are we really trying to guess on how this got checked out? So would it taste better if he jumped off a cliff?
Probably.
I mean, it's better if they don't know that death is coming, because then you don't get the shock of adrenaline, and that does make things
releases cortisol.
Exactly. So it's better if they're stunned, and then so maybe a heart attack or a car accident will create that kind of
something stronger than this.
I feel it's a tribute to.
We're getting to push the boundary.
I mean, I come into it,
but culinary experiences right now so exciting that
if you don't want to offend them, I say just down there. Yeah. Come on. Use your fingers. But also waste not want. I mean, food scarcity and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Now, what do you think of the long pig?
I can't quite put my finger on it.
Think of the stories you can tell.
I mean,
I don't know if I can tell this.
Thank you.
Could we have a moment of silence for Russell?
Oh, that's a great idea.
It feels right to me. To Russell.
You know, people found out that Ellen was mean, and all these people came out and said, Ellen's actually a fucking bitch. She lost everything. She fell apart, disappeared, because people found out that this character that she was portraying in half an hour on a television show is not really who she was. But I hadn't already known that. My buddy Greg, who was one of her writers, and he was like, she's a fucking monster.
Joe Rogan and several cultural commentators have pointed out that in the world of high-level entertainment, nothing is accidental. The set of a major talk show costs millions to design and is vetted by dozens of executives. Why would a daytime show for stay-at-home moms mirror the inner sanctum of a convicted predator? Some believe it was a way of signaling safe passage to the guests who walked onto that stage, a subtle nod to those in the know that they were among friends. This connection became even more localized when reports began to surface that Ellen's name was allegedly found within the Epstein files, nestled among other regulars who frequented his circle. If Ellen was as deeply integrated into that world as the evidence suggests, it changes the context of every interview she ever conducted. But the set design was only the beginning of the coincidences that would start to haunt her legacy.
Earlier I mentioned some conspiracies, and I want to talk to you about what the internet has been cooking up, and this one is insane. I need to address something that's been blowing up online since these files started dropping, because every time these documents like this get released, the internet does what the internet does. So there's a claim circulating right now that the Epstein files reveal Ellen DeGeneres as, and I'm quoting this directly from the posts, Hollywood's most prolific cannibal, that she consumed human flesh. People are sharing distorted images of her face, writing paragraphs about underground dystopias, calling her a vampire. Now, Ellen DeGeneres is named in the Epstein documents, and that part is real. Her name appears in the broader index of over 300 high-profile individuals that show up across the investigative materials. Flight logs, communications, third-party interviews, peripheral records.
To understand how deep this rabbit hole goes, you have to look at the paper trail left behind by the elite. According to investigators who reviewed the unsealed Epstein records, his inner circle operated like a tight-knit secret society. They didn't just casually chat about their weekends, they spoke in a highly strange, almost unrecognizable code. If you looked at the surface of these emails, you would think these billionaires and global power players were absolutely obsessed with cheap fast food. Words like pizza, pasta, and especially jerky appeared over and over again in highly classified urgent communications. In one message, an associate wrote to Epstein saying the crew really appreciated the pizza. In another, someone attached a document and wrote that it was better than a Chinese cookie, suggesting they go out for pizza and grape soda again. But these weren't lunch plans. Lawmakers and forensic experts who viewed the unedited files stated clearly that this language was deeply disturbing. Adult, health-obsessed billionaires do not urgently courier hot dogs and grape soda across the country in insulated bags. One email even mentioned a client reacting to a photo by saying a woman was radiating a soft glow of bliss and followed it up with the phrase, "Yeah, that's the pizza." Representative Anna Paulina Wuna confirmed what the internet had long suspected. These were not food items. These were highly coordinated, deeply sick euphemisms used to describe minors and the trafficking of human beings. The casual, friendly tone of these messages is exactly what makes them so terrifying. But as the files became public, the spotlight began to shift from the convicted predators to the mainstream celebrities who allegedly helped keep their dark world spinning.
There was also a lot of language that appears to be coded regarding food. I wanted to let you know the crew really appreciated the pizza. Another email read, "This is better than a Chinese cookie, see attached. Let's go for pizza and grape soda again." This one talks about, "Yeah, that's the pizza. You mean radiating a soft glow with a look of bliss and excitement." There's one more, I think, in this list as well. "Sorry, I have no stomach for even the slightest aggro. I don't have the stomach for it for any drama, imaginary or real. I'm still fragile off the last one and scared of shadows." This is in response to some videos that were shared where Jeffrey Epstein himself says, "I watched all of these videos, don't send any more." And then Ghislaine is like, "I can't stomach any of this." What the fuck did you send that Jeffrey Epstein was like, "No more"?
This is where the rumors surrounding some of Hollywood's most beloved names really began to gain traction. For a long time, the daytime talk show circuit was viewed as a safe space, a massive promotional machine where actors and musicians could play games, share a laugh, and look incredibly relatable to the everyday public. But underground whistleblowers and internet sleuths began painting a very different picture of the industry. According to these rumors, certain highly connected hosts weren't just entertainers, they were fixers. They were the bridge between the clean, public-facing world of Hollywood and the dark, hidden underbelly of the global elite. Whispers began to circulate that the daytime queen herself was heavily involved in this shadow network. While nothing was ever proven in a court of law, the allegations claimed she smoothed over introductions, connected powerful people with young talent, and helped keep the industry's most sinister secrets completely quiet. When the Epstein files broke the internet, people were absolutely shocked to see how many beloved, family-friendly celebrities were deeply entrenched in a world of private islands and offshore bank accounts. The contrast between a host demanding her audience be kind while allegedly rubbing shoulders with disgraced financiers was a tough pill to swallow. But just when the public thought the allegations couldn't get any weirder, a brand new theory took over the internet, and it involved a rumor so disturbing it sounds like something straight out of a horror movie.
Earlier, I'll give you another example here. Epstein sends a message to someone, she looks pregnant, reacting to a photo. And the client replies back to Epstein, "You mean radiating a soft glow with the look of bliss and excitement? Yeah, that's the pizza." I cannot be clearer than this, that this is a code word. It makes no sense in that context whatsoever. And this on top of the example I gave you earlier, when his neurologist gave him the medicine for having an erection, erectile dysfunction, I assume, or it could be even Viagra, and then told him to wash his hands, go have pizza and grape soda. As been mentioned time and time again, having adult men, successful men that are very health oriented, constantly talk about pizza with grape soda, which I've never heard before.
Yeah, I've never heard of pizza and grape soda before this. I don't know if that specific combination was part of the whole Pizzagate thing, but it's definitely mentioned a lot because I saw that phrase, so I looked it up and was like, is this actually like in there multiple times? And it most definitely is.
There's another one here. Have you seen the beef jerky mentioned as well? There's an email here from Jeffrey Epstein. Someone else says, Francis has time to come tomorrow to show me how to make it. Jerky, anyone? He will also bring you a taste of his jerky recipe from the restaurant. And sends a warm hello. He's working at a restaurant called Coops. Wait for it, beef jerky and steak. He has time at 3 p.m. There's other emails of him talking about beef jerky. Another one here, Jeffrey Epstein sending it to Steve Hansen saying, hope you're feeling better. did we analyze the beef? Did we analyze the jerky? Now there's talks about jerky, referencing human meat. It could be for scientific research, it could be something else that's even sicker. But there's more emails here talking about beef jerky. Have you had time to go through those? There's one here. Thank you so much. Super cool. IT guy setting up Surface right now. We are ridiculously excited, and beef jerky delicious. Thank you, Thanksgiving. So yeah.
It is very. Now I've got all those emails saved. I'd actually had somebody send me all of those to say, hey, would you check this out? So I have them. I have not read through all of them, but there's no shortage of terms that are phrased in a peculiar way. Muffin is another one. I've seen that a couple of times. I talked about when he says whoops. That seems to be in very. Sometimes he says that in very odd terms that seem like they're referring to somebody dying or getting. So there definitely seem to be code words.
It started with a completely bizarre interview featuring Chrissy Teigen, a model and longtime friend of the daytime elite. During a casual conversation, she was asked a highly unusual question about whether she would ever be open to eating human flesh. Instead of laughing it off or calling the question crazy, she doubled down. She flat out stated that if the person okayed it, she would absolutely try it.
Actually, nothing I wouldn't eat or wouldn't drink or wouldn't try. If the person okayed it, I would eat a human. If you were at a very fancy restaurant and they were like a tiny piece of human meat.
No. I think the only way
you wouldn't try a tiny bite?
No.
Really?
Absolutely not.
Is that terrible?
Soon, people started connecting this interview to an old, terrifying video from 2009. A young model named Gabriela Jimenez was filmed having a complete mental breakdown outside of a luxury hotel. She was screaming, crying hysterically, and claiming to the police that she had just witnessed powerful guests engaging in an unthinkable act of consuming human meat. One of the most chilling theories to emerge in recent years involves the very stage where Ellen sat every day. To the average viewer, it was just a modern, breezy set with palm trees and soft lighting. However, when side-by-side comparisons began to circulate online, people noticed something that was impossible to ignore. The architectural layout, the specific color palette of the couches, and even the placement of the windows on the Ellen DeGeneres show set bore a striking resemblance to the structures found on Little St. James, the infamous private island owned by Jeffrey Epstein. Speculation went wild that the set wasn't just a design choice, but a subtle tribute to the place where Hollywood's elite allegedly engaged in their darkest activities.
No.
I know Jamie does.
What is it?
It's on the set of a famous talk show that's now not on anymore.
Oh, Ellen? Was that Ellen?
Yeah.
Really?
But just look at the temple and then look at the...
Let me see Ellen's background. What? Oh, similar. That looks like a building, though. Like
sure.
Yeah. Is that a building in LA? That might be a building in LA. Right, but I mean, it's supposed to be a background of. Yeah.
It's strange to use the same.
It is, but it's, I mean, it's whatever. I'm not that impressed with that. that could just be coincidental. There's a lot of people.
Ask Alex about that.
Yeah. Well, he'll get. Well.
The Epstein Island set comparison led researchers and fans down a rabbit hole of mutual connections. It's no secret that the Black Book was filled with the names of the world's most powerful people, many of whom were frequent guests on Ellen's show. We're talking about figures like Bill Clinton, whose flight records show multiple trips on the Lolita Express. While Clinton has consistently denied any knowledge of the crimes and has never faced criminal accusations, his presence on the show and Ellen's warm relationship with him began to be viewed through a different lens. Then there's the case of Woody Allen. Ellen has been a longtime defender of Allen, even after his adopted daughter, Dylan Farrow, went public with harrowing allegations. In a 2014 interview, Ellen famously tweeted her support for Allen, which many now see as part of a larger pattern of high-level figures protecting one another. The theory goes that in the upper echelons of Hollywood, there is an unwritten rule. You protect the giants, so the giants protect you. The Be Kind brand wasn't just for the viewers. It was a way to signal to the industry that she was a safe player. But as the public's tolerance for these open secrets evaporated, her past defenses of controversial figures started to look less like loyalty and more like complicity. The internet started to see Ellen not as a daytime host, but as a gatekeeper for a system that was fundamentally broken.
New photos we haven't seen before of Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell with very high-profile people, celebrities, people like Mick Jagger and Michael Jackson, like you showed, also like British royalty and actors. All of that we sort of knew was happening. I want to highlight specifically two for the public interest, and that is President Clinton and President Trump in these files. We've got new images now, some showing President Clinton in a pool with Ghislaine Maxwell and a person who is redacted. Now, we know some of the redactions are because people are underage or because people are victims. We don't know anything about these people in these specific photos other than they're redacted, but this is getting a lot of attention here. Then President Trump. You see pictures of what look like a drawer with several photos in them of President Trump before he was president, younger version of himself, and several women there, as you see, some of them not wearing a whole lot of clothing. President Trump is also referenced several times in flight logs, and in some cases, even with his former wife, Marla, and his daughter, Tiffany, who would have been a child at the time, and a nanny traveling along with Epstein that were in these files.
The evidence we've looked at today paints a chilling picture, but we want to hear from you. Is the Queen of Kindness just a victim of a toxic industry, or do these ties to the inner sanctum run deeper than anyone dared to imagine? Drop your theories in the comments below. I'll be hearting the most thought-provoking ones. If you want to help us uncover more stories the mainstream media refuses to touch, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. The truth is starting to surface, and you don't want to miss what we're exposing next.